Dreams, dream zones, dream work, and dream analysis. Everybody does it differently, but pretty much everybody sees dreams at night. And this is a fascinating topic, whether you understand the messages from your dreams, whether you think your dreams are without any messages, they're just random combination of symbols, events, memories, wishes, needs, desires, and so on. But we are all seeing dreams. We are all experiencing this part of our life, which is sort of under the surface. If you think about it, we have two lives going on at the same time. We have our daily self, we have our daily self here, living our daily life. We do shopping, we cook, we garden, we look after children, we do our job, whatever we are doing in our daily reality, which we are doing intentionally, hopefully. We are very present, hopefully. Sometimes, obviously, some activities we do on autopilot, but we are aware of what we are doing nearly 100% of the time. And then there is a divide, and under the surface, at night time, we see dreams, and sometimes they have a lot to do with our daily life. Sometimes they seemingly have nothing to do with our daily life. But what it is, in effect, our dreams and our dream activity by our brain is something that reflects our daily reality in a way that we see something that we don't have a good connection to in our daily reality. So those aspects of ourselves, and this is the whole premise of dream analysis, and aspect of our reality are coming up in our dreams in a different way, very often in symbolic way. So I would like to just tell a little bit about dream analysis and how it could be done, dream work, how it could be done, and I will take our framework, Dream Yourself Together, our dream challenge as a structure, but then you can take absolutely any element of it and apply for your DIY self-care. So what we use, we can use acupressure points. Why do we use acupressure points? Because first of all, in order to see dreams, good dreams, meaningful dreams, and analyze the dreams and take dreams as our messengers, as our helpers in our daily life, we need to have a good quality sleep. We need to have enough sleep. We need to have a good structure of our sleep, meaning it's a good combination of deep sleep and superficial sleep. And so we need to create these conditions. And acupressure, which is absolutely totally self-care therapy, is perfect for that. There are several classic points we are using. And please connect if you would like to do DIY this aspect of it. I would be happy to share. But this is the first step. Very often we are creating conditions for dreams to happen, and we are creating conditions for good quality sleep. Second step, we do treatment of what is called dream zones. Dream zones are similar in a way to acupressure network. Some of them actually located around acupressure points or acupuncture points. Some of them are different. Some of them reflex zones of the body. And those dream zones we use for what is called intentional or targeted dreaming. So, for example, we want to clarify some area of our life, our self-memory, our relationship, our fears, our full potential, our joy, this kind of thing. And there is a specific zone with a similar name which we can treat. And we use a combination of massage with our fingers, with our hands, but also with a specific oil for the dreams called Oil Relax. And this is again perfectly DIY, perfect self-care. Very, very quick, very easy, very insightful, very great in terms of delivering your dreams on the topics that you are interested in. And sometimes those two steps are absolutely perfectly enough. You will see dreams which you will be satisfied with, you will understand, and no further steps will be needed. Most of the time, however, we are quite far away from our deep self. So our daily self, living this life up here, quite often disconnected with our inner self, our deeper self, our night self, which shows up in our dreams. And so we can do different versions of dream analysis. Of course, we can do classic version of dream analysis. This is Jungian dream analysis with symbols. And this is the premise is that each object or subject, so each person or object, such as a house or a plate or a curtain, in our dreams represent some part of ourselves. So a split part of our personality, which wants to be integrated, which wants to make themselves known and accepted by us. And this is something we can do. We can use a very, very simple script because majority of dream work with dream analysis, which is absolutely beautiful, don't get me wrong, it's very, very complex. So it is job for professionals. However, many people over the years created their own versions of dreamwork, and I used many of them in a very, very simple. So I'm trying to simplify the script, and I'm trying to share this with my patients and with my students so people can learn. And a couple of times we do this dreamwork together, either on dreamwork challenge or one-to-one or during Colourpuncture session online, any shape and form. You do it a couple of times, you will internalize the principles, you will internalize the prompts, and then you can absolutely perfectly do it yourself. It's always much better to do it with somebody, and it's always way better to do it with somebody who can guide you through the process. However, this could be perfectly good for self-care. Absolutely. So with this dream analysis, what we are looking at, we are looking at how this particular symbol represents part of us. So we can choose descriptive words, we can choose what part of ourselves this is, and there is specific technique how you can get to a place of connection. So you are in a much better alignment with the dream. So you are becoming this object in a way when you analyze. And this is obviously this requires some practice and some learning, but this is very, very simple. Sometimes we can analyze the dreams, and some dreams perfectly lend themselves to it on a level of archetypes. And I'll give you an example which is abstract. This is not somebody's real dream, but this is an example from like summary of several dreams or by several people. So imagine typical situation, nightmare, because very, very often we will be very, very incentivized to analyze our dreams when we are having disconcerting dreams, such as a nightmare or just unpleasant dream or something that we really don't understand. Something happens in the dream which is strongly against who we are, seemingly against our values and so on. But the dream depends, the dream interpretation depends on who is seeing the dream. So imagine an abstract dream, typical nightmare. Here is a victim of some sort. Doesn't matter the situation. Here is a victim. Here is a perpetrator, on the other hand. And there could be like a bystander if this is a situation more of a real life. Now imagine that we are analyzing this dream from a level of archetype. So we have archetype of the victim, which is classic. We have classic archetype of perpetrator, and bystander is this person who cannot quite make their mind up. They are observing something which not necessarily they agree with, but they not take any action. Now, depending on who is seeing these dreams, who you associate yourself better with, if, for example, you're feeling weak, not necessarily in general in life, but currently you're recovering from illness, you're in a particular sensitive part of your life, something is happening which is so overwhelming that you feel like you're victim of collective situations, circumstances. Look at the news. So you can really relate to victim archetypes, and obviously you will see this from a position of a victim. Now, somebody who's a perpetrator and victim will be in conflict because victim will want to defend themselves, but they may not necessarily know how. And here we are connecting to the next level, which is a level of conflict. So coming back to this play between archetypes and conflict, perpetrator may not have an internal conflict, because if they are had sort of made criminals, then not necessarily they will have a conflict, because this is their belief system. They are just acting out their beliefs. For somebody who is reluctant criminal or perpetrator for whatever reason, there are many complex situations, not necessarily connected with actual crime. So perpetrator can feel in conflict as well. Bystander can absolutely feel in conflict because they have a choice, and they're not taking any choice. They are taking a choice by not taking any action, but is this choice absolutely made 100% in alignment, or is it made out of fear? So we can analyze the dream from this perspective. But then imagine that this same dream we are talking about, which is somebody who is a policeman in daily life, or somebody who's a military. So what this dream is for them? For them, this dream is a daily job. There is absolutely nothing to analyze, nothing to do. This is a daily reality. And they know exactly what they need to do, which kind of actions they need to take. So dreams are often very, very, very much individual. And this is why off-the-shelf dream interpretation very rarely work, because we all have different association. And I just give you this example, which is very dramatic, which is, much exaggerated. But this is a real situation. People see this kind of dreams. Absolutely. So in dream analysis, apart from analyzing each symbol in a dream as part of ourself, which is absolutely beautiful technique, I do it all the time. I do it for myself, I do it for my patients in my clinic. And it could be, as I said, it could be learned integrated after a couple of times you're doing this dream work. Simple script can be integrated and you can use it for self-care. Level of conflicts very often is more sort of subtle. So sometimes you need some help, outside help with. But again, this is something that can be learned. And if you're interested, please do come to our challenge and you will learn of all of it. Archetypes are easier in a way because archetypes are classic. This is a common human knowledge. However, you might again need some work in order to understand why you relate to a particular archetype and why you strongly dismiss this as an archetype. And then every time you dismiss something, there is an energy tension between us and the something. So if you see an archetype in your dream which you strongly disagree with, this is an area for deep, deep reflection, because not necessarily this is you in hidden form, but this is something in your life or some aspects, maybe your past behavior, something that trigger something for you. So you strongly disagree with this archetype. Very often when I work with people with dream work, they say, this should not, this and this and this should not be my dream at all. This is not me, this is not my life. But once you analyze the dream, it becomes perfectly neutral. Even the biggest nightmare becomes perfectly neutral. And very often there is a message. There is a message from the split part of ourselves, or there is a message on archetypal level, or there is conflict to resolve. This kind of thing. And lastly, what I would like to say is that even though we tend to analyze our dreams with Colourpuncture, with each therapy which is holistic, because we want to understand the whole life of this human being which we are trying to help, or if this is ourselves and we are trying to help ourselves, we need to see at the bigger picture. Sometimes some dreams do not have to be analyzed. And I'll give you an example. A couple of days ago, I did a fantastic Colourpuncture work. This is part of our professional training. This was a particular module for what is called degenerative diseases. Degenerative diseases are diseases which are deep in the tissue. Very often they are either organically manifest diseases such as kidney stones, arthritis, this kind of thing, which are very, very visible. Sometimes it is a massive energy stagnation in our life, like unfinished business, unresolved conflict, something from the past, some long period of something in the past which never got integrated into your awareness. You never agreed with this aspect of you or situation or people in your life. And it sits somewhere in your energy field and it can come up with a dream, absolutely. So this kind of thing, and obviously it's very, very strong therapy. So we did this and I was demonstrating some of the treatments on myself, obviously, because it was done online, the training. And I woke up with a dream. In this dream, I saw so many different things. My first thought was, I'm going to analyze this dream. And then I looked carefully what was in the dream. And I decided against it. And many, many times, especially after therapy, especially after deep therapy, such as Colourpuncture or any body therapy, can actually, done properly, can actually trigger this kind of dreams, which are release dreams, which highlight something that you need to know. You don't need to analyze anything. You just need to know and accept that this is something that is there. This is something that is affecting your daily life, but this is something you might have forgotten. So in my dream came my certain pain points in my life, my fears, my past unresolved conflict, my current unresolved conflict, unfinished business, and some sort of anxiety, not even anxiety, but some sort of worry, vague worry about the future, about a particular thing in the future. So, and a bittersweet memory. And I woke up and I thought, this is not a dream to be analyzed. And then I remember which treatment we did, and this was a this was treatment for shifting this deep stuff which we tend to just, it's not requires immediate attention, or we don't see tools to resolve this in our immediate reality, so we tend to push it, and we tend to push it away. So I realized that my dream, and I had lots of dreams like that, and you will have a lot of dream after that, especially after therapy, but sometimes they happen on its own. Sometimes you take a long walk in the mountains, you go for a long swim, you go for a holiday, and you can come up with a dream which was just highlight everything which is not great on this level which you just created. You felt great, and anything which is not great come to the surface, asking, what about us? How are you going to deal with this? How are you going to resolve this conflicts and finish unfinished business? So I woke up almost like with a to-do list. I needed to look at some pictures from the past to address this bittersweet memory and to acknowledge it with gratitude. I needed to complete some unfinished business from the past by plain and simple clutter clearing. I needed to do some research about this future situation, which worries me a little bit. Not worries me a little bit, it excites me too, but this is something that is not clear at the moment. But this is in development. So I woke up with a plan. So not every dream has to be analyzed. And again, sometimes we see dreams which are messages from the future. And I know it sounds very strange, but I think we all can relate to it. And especially when something big is happening in the collective, or you feel something is in development, you can see this in the dream. Or some people just are very perceptive like that. Some people see this kind of dream. I'm not one of those people, but some of my patients and some of my students or some of my friends are. They see dreams which they just manifest in their daily reality. So what is happening without any metaphysic, or maybe with it, I don't know, but they tend to feel what is in development long before it manifested into its final result. So, any questions, please let me know. We are going to do another Dreamwork challenge closer to end of November. So, if you are very interested in your dreams, if you're interested to learn simple tools and how to use them for your self-care, please do come. If you're familiar with any dream view or any dream tools, please do it for yourself. If you want to do it yourself, by yourself, in your own company. Anything else, ask me questions. Just be good to yourself and plan some dream works for winter.